We have our direction variable, and now we need to use the direction variable. And what we're going to say here is if the direction variable is equal to 0, we're going to show this left sphere. And if the direction variable is equal to 1, we're going to hide the left sphere. And for the right sphere, it's going to be the exact opposite. If the direction variable is equal to 1, we're going to show, and if it's equal to 0, we're going to hide. So we come over here to the left sphere. Let's start with him. And we already have this forever loop where the sphere goes to the diver. And inside of the forever loop, we need to make a decision. Right? And so how does our program make a decision? It's the if block. Right? And not only do we need to make a single decision, but we need to make two things happen. Right? So you're going to use the if else. If directions equal to 0, do this. Else means directions equal to 1, do that. Okay, and so we're going to go to operators and say equals. We'll go to data, get the direction variable. We'll say if direction is equal to 0, then that means he's facing to the left, and that means we want to do this. Right? We want to show the left sphere. We want to go to the scuba diver, and we want to change the x and y by those values. So let's go and put that in there. And now, what about else? Else means direction is not equal to 0. Well, if it's not equal to 0, then what else could it possibly be equal to? The only other option is 1, and 1 means the diver is facing towards the right. And so what do we want to do with this left sphere if he's facing towards the right? We want to hide him. So let's go into looks and hide. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing basically with the right sphere. Okay. So we're going to come over to advance. When backdrop switches to control, get a forever block, and we're going to put an if else inside of it. In operators, we're going to say if data direction is equal to 1, that means he's facing to the right, and I want the sphere to show. So I'm going to go under looks, and I'm going to say show. And what else do I need to do? I need to go to and change x, change y. So I'll go to motion, go to, no, not that one, this one. Go to the diver and change x, change y. Make sure you don't use set x or set y. We want to change x from where the diver is. Right? And you can see the sphere, he's up here. And we need to add to the x to move this sphere to the right. So let's change x by 40. That looks good. And then we need the y to move down, so we need to subtract y. So let's do minus 40. Too much. You see the sphere below the hands? So we're going to say change it to negative 30. That looks pretty good. What about the x if we do 45? That looks good. I like that. Okay, so yeah, so this is where the sphere is going to go to when the diver's facing to the right. And now what about the else? Well, when will it go into the else? It'll go into this else when this is not true. And if this is not true, then what is direction equal to? It's equal to the only possible value that it could be if it's not equal to 1, and that is 0. Right? And 0 means he's facing to the left. And do we want the right sphere to show when he's facing to the left? No, we do not. So let's go to looks and let's hide him. And I think we're good to go. So let's go ahead and test this out. So I'm facing the left and this left sphere is showing. I'm facing the right and the right sphere is showing. Right? So there we go. We're ready to get the sphere to shoot out of the diver's hands.